Welcome back, and yes, you may have noticed by now that the very overfield used for the main menu is the same field that the models are placed in for the courtroom scenes. This will become even more apparent when we go to the final trial as well.
I just already seen the bit, so moving on.
Skip it. On to the witness testimony. What we saw and what we didn't see.
You wish to know where we were all standing tonight? It matters not. Will the flames not burn just the same, even though that's irrelevant? God, I hate this guy.
That flame, I never saw anything quite like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream.
Well, the gas does tend to do that to the lungs. I heard the tiniest cry, and then, when I turned around, the blighters were roasting, so I rushed right over.
I heard the incantation, then the flames suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it. I only saw 3 people there with us. And Snowy.
As I said, there were only 3 others present, like the man there who was tumbling around like a newborn calf.
Nice to know.
They're so confused.
And which amongst the witnesses? What an utterly baseless claim.
You're just mad
What
you
proof
didn't
do you
think of
have?
it first. I don't
Yeah,
think
exactly.
so, Barnum.
Sorry.
The only baseless claim in this case is of Espella being a witch. It's more than a little likely one of these witnesses is the culprit. I know, because I know Espella so well. From fake memories. But nonetheless, these testimonies are bound to tell me who the real witch is. Hold it! In other words, you're not sure exactly what happened tonight. Is that right?
Scream still, though. Defender, I fought you with burning vigor this night. Do not belittle my efforts. Somehow I doubt that.
I don't think your efforts need my help. Right.
A knight does not just run away at the mere sight of fire. Ha! How about you?
No one even said anything about running away.
You know, Nido, people who aren't full of shit very rarely haven't feel the need to point out that they're not full of shit. If I may perfectly clearly with you, the pillar of fire illuminated the area as it rose high into the air.
At least this way to save on animation.
There, by the fire, was the witch. And excluding the 2 unfortunate knaves, I counted 3 others at the scene.
Huh?
Who's confused now?
Hang on! Excuse me, Miss Kira.
What do you want?
For a midnight chat, what do you think I want? You looked like you had something to say about the testimony just now.
Phoenix, what would Iris say?
Nothing, she's in prison.
Well, it was about the number of people at the crime scene. Have you ever played the Daisy Petal game?
Oh wait, when did this take place again?
Technically
Daisy-
in
is that
between
the-
cases 2 and 3 of the 3rd game.
Oh, okay.
Daisy Petal game?
Is that the she loves me not one, or...
Listen,
No, I thought that was about firing her. 1 witnesses? No, 1 witness, 2 witnesses, 3 witnesses, 4 witnesses, 5 witnesses, 6 witnesses.
Congratulations, Kira, you can count. Now can you please get back to your argument?
Flowers.
Yeah, the judge has had enough.
What an adorable game! It seems like something out of a fairy tale.
Again,
it's-
these
it's
flowers
called-
are spiked.
You're saying, Shiri?
So counting to 6 now counts as a game?
Anyway, you may continue your testimony, witness.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, okay, that is one thing to look out for. Just because you do notice somebody react to a testimony does not always mean that's going to be the guaranteed go-to.
I mean, might as well put to that end like that.
Mhm.
Yes. It's the kind of thing you only read about in books.
My guess is that it would kind of be a little too easy if you always just got the right answer from that happening.
Basically.
It's actually. Oh, sorry.
The moment that pillar of fire erupted, I could feel my throat tightening up.
Again, fire tends to take away the gas that's needed to breathe, so yeah.
Actually, one thing. Sorry.
It was so difficult to breathe, I couldn't even manage so much as a scream. Go on, Pedro.
That's actually one thing that I will say that this game probably okay. Maybe I have to play those games again after we finish this one. But I remember in Greatest Attorney, both games most of the time it's always the first thing you find that is the right road. There doesn't seem to be as many fake roads as this one has, from what I remember. But I guess I'll have to play it.
I think that
I'll have to play the game again though, so I can compare. Go on.
So you can't remember the number of people at the crime scene? Naturally, that is understandable, witness.
Greek great event of tragedy, all a blur.
That's also why I was a little late getting to the scene compared to the others.
Tio presses square to doubt.
Which means that he instantly yells at her. Hold it!
I thought it was circle to doubt or X to doubt.
That is true.
It depends on the version.
Actually, Shiro, if you're playing with an Xbox controller, X is square.
Anyway.
So, yeah.
It might have been someone saying the incantation of that spell or something. Either way, it scared me good, though. Never jumped up to me feet so fast in all my life. Nearly had a heart attack, I guess.
Jump up.
That's right.
Superstar?
It was still raining cats and dogs, so being the resourceful chap that I am, I decided to doze under a tree for a bit.
I get with this,
Hang on!
And the music's still playing, that should be your clue.
Is everything alright, Mr. Wordsmith?
What is that you want this time, young one?
I just wanted to know if you had any thoughts on the testimony just now.
Oh yes, thoughts about slumbering under trees, you mean?
No.
Slumbering?
I often find myself weaving the most intricate of dreams under that very tree.
The tree where 2 people were murdered.
Of course, I couldn't nap tonight. Not with that uncouth man usurping my special dreaming spot, could I?
Please, can we not have fighting amongst the witnesses?
Again.
Are you using this cross-examination to argue over a napping spot?
Let us hope such arguments do not lead to any criminal acts in the future. God, our police force suck.
Witness, please continue your testimony.
It's the Middle Ages Barnum. Everything sucks.
The music's good, I hear.
Well, music doesn't really cut in my arm, but yeah, sure.
Hold it! Are you absolutely certain?
But then, when you think about it,
Sure.
can anyone really be absolutely certain of anything?
Oh god, Warsmith's influence is rubbing over her.
Again, she's either in a trance or she's possessed.
The
One of the
lamb
two.
is in control, she's just his puppet.
That would explain a
She's
lot.
a sheeple.
It worries me that you're saying that in the middle of a cross-examination.
Allow
I
me,
believe
Shiro.
the witness means that there is no way she can be certain whether there were 4 witnesses or 5 at the crime scene.
Other feelings. You will now answer to us. And every time she hugs she hugs her, it breaks the mind control.
That's a matter of great importance, and I had to attend to.
You must mean...
That's right, the milk. If any sort of got into that milk, it would be a tragedy to end all tragedies.
Wow, we're getting a lot of reactions this testimony. Hang on! Could I stop you there, mister?
You're wasting good alcohol.
Mister!
Like, First ghost sheet and then the alcohol.
Wow!
That's 10 of
Tone
these
down the
pinching about.
volume, Bluey! That's my line.
All the flower petals she's throwing on the floor make it pretty, though, to you.
Ugh.
Does anything come to mind regarding Miss Mary's testimony? Nope, not really. Nothing important anyways.
Also, I think the fumes from that fire pit that's still going is what's making them all iffy.
Just that I think this
Yeah,
old lady
I'm
is
seeing
full of it. Huh? Wow, the witnesses really are having it at each other. I'm talking about the milk, man! The milk!
I never got that milk.
You'll know the second you try the stuff. It ain't nothing to write home about, let me tell you.
Oh, no,
You
there's
don't
gonna
ever say
be...
that to the person who usually sells it. Yeah.
What are you saying, you dolt? Who on earth would let you drink anything as delicious as the milk from my farm?
Are we about to see some hands get thrown here?
To be fair, I'm pretty sure drinking milk or eating any kind of dairy after consuming vast amounts of alcohol is
I feel
not
like
good
you're
for
as
you.
undeserved by whatever unthinkable liquid is in that never-ending mug of yours.
Are
Snowy
you
goes
guys
by.
using this cross-examination to argue over milk? Not even
Yes.
spilled milk at that.
Let us hope such arguments do not lead to any criminal acts in the future.
Barnum.
You're repeating yourself.
This night was
that-
going so well.
Yeah, Barnum's like, and here I thought I was just going to go in there and just have a witch be burned.
Hold it!
This is why we can't have nice things.
So,
No.
including yourself, there were a total of 4 witnesses at the crime scene, correct?
That is how it has come to pass.
Has it now?
By the way, what do you mean by stumbling around like a newborn calf?
I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory, but...
That's what it means.
Oh yes, there was a man as inebriated as he was loud. Quite the humorous sight it was, I dare say.
I like
It's a-
laughing at drunkards. It's fun.
Okay. Not for nothing, guys. Is this a cross-examination or a roasting ceremony?
I don't know
Yes,
anymore.
Jovah. It's an attorney cross-examination. I mean, there's been others where there have been plenty of roasting.
Oh, no, but that's the thing. The witnesses are roasting each other, not Phoenix. That's what actually makes this really
I thought Espella was
interesting.
the only one to be roasted.
However, I could not simply walk over to check. My knees were a bit weak from shock, you see.
I see what you did there.
That's when the wobbly-legged gentleman came rolling over.
Come on, everyone's thinking it.
Hang on!
And with this,
Is something the matter, mister?
Such a
all
waste
that
of good.
waste.
Such a waste of good
right.
alcohol.
Mister!
I can't believe we've done this already.
Whoa! Tone down the volume, Bluey! Again.
Yeah,
Again.
There's some serious
That's
copy
my
pasting
line
going on.
again.
Yeah, there's some serious copy pasting
Sir
right now.
Knight, next time, please think before trying to press this witness.
I can't help it. I kind of want to see where this goes. Looks like this guy even managed to scare Barnum half to death. How is
Someone
he
who
alive?
can consume that much alcohol without passing out is a pretty dangerous individual.
Now then, sir, about Mr. Wordsmith's testimony just now. He claimed you were stumbling around. What does he mean by that? And how are you
was
alive just
drunk.
by drinking all that alcohol?
Usually I say that. Usually I
I'm
say
gonna
that.
set the record straight right now. In no way was I stumbling around anywhere. I'd like to think it more like staggering with style.
Oh my
Sure.
god.
It's not falling. It's not flying. It's falling with style.
How's that glass
A
of copium?
responsible adult should know better than to go stumbling around in the dead of night.
I said I was staggering. Didn't you just hear me?
Hey,
Deaf as much as
look,
blind.
I don't just go stumbling around like some clumsy idiot. I've got more sense than that.
Sure.
But anyway, I kinda tripped over a large stone.
I didn't stumble, but I did trip over a large stone.
Hey,
Brilliant.
look, there's a difference between stumbling and tripping. Yeah, I mean, you don't exactly see what's on the ground in front of you when you're running around like that. So, you could say I put me life out on the line, proving that you really need to watch where you're going when you run. How courageous of you. Someone give this guy a medal.
The mental gymnastics this guy is pulling right now just to make himself look good.
Lord, this testimony is a meaningless waste of everyone's time.
You've wasted so much of my time. Well, Defender, is there a point to this particular line of questioning?
Is there anything worth pursuing here? What should I do? Alright! The witness stated earlier that he tripped over a large stone. Mister, I have one question for you. Why weren't you watching what was in front of you? Well, to be honest with you, it ain't much of a real reason, but something suddenly caught me attention. Out of nowhere. I sort of heard someone call out me name.
Yeah, for some reason, Barnard hasn't asked you yet his name and occupation. You heard your name.
That's because the game is waiting for the right time to tell you.
You see, guys, he's just
the game just wants to have another laugh.
You see, guys, he's just some guy who's just some guy who's just some guy.
No.
Jovah, shut up.
Shut up.
It's been such a while since we did that game, and you guys still remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, remember, we did do it last year. So.
Well, I repressed that for nothing, thank you.
So you heard someone call, "Hey you"? What? I said they called out me name! How many guys do you know called "Hey you"? Like that "Hey you Pikachu" bloke.
This guy, this guy's a deleted character from your name.
Me name is Emeer. And don't you forget it, Bluey. You hear me?
Dealing with some guy.
I must say, this gentleman really does not strike me as an Emeer.
What
Layton,
does
that's
it strike you as?
judgmental as fuck.
No. That's not what he means to. He means like it's that whole thing where you say your name. You don't. It's kind of like in Meet the Robinsons. You don't look like a Lewis. You look more like a Cornelius.
You know, Professor, it's not a very memorable name.
That's harsh.
Honorable
Like, dang,
witnesses.
even Phoenix agrees.
Is there anyone among you who was aware of this man's name prior to now?
So, he'd always just been...
I'm honestly, Taylor, I'm more concerned today with the fact that Layton called Emeer referred to him as a gentleman.
Remember, he treated also Warsmith well, so...
I know, but Emeer, come on.
It is the first time I heard of this, I dare say. I don't expect his name to be one such as Emeer.
I'm sorry, but I didn't know his name either. I only remember the names of my most loyal customers.
The names of the people who actually matter.
You have no customers, though.
Hey, it looks like absolutely no one knew this witness's name.
Oh, that means that she doesn't remember anybody's names.
You know, it ain't really much of a surprise to me either.
How do the authorities do not know about, this guy's name either?
That's exactly how I want to keep it. Seriously. I definitely heard someone call me name. When you get to be me age, well, you really start to wonder when you'll find that true love, you know. I thought that pretty voice tonight might have been me, sweetie.
So let me get this straight. You heard someone call your name.
Barnum's about to throw something.
I think we all need a time to process that.
Tag.
Your Honor, I don't believe we should be so quick to label Mr. Emeer's testimony meaningless. Would you not agree?
I agree with Layton. If you've been paying attention to the trial up until now, yeah, you probably already know where this is going.
I request to add this amusing anecdote to his testimony.
That's
Yes,
the
I know
nicest...
technically that's your job, Mr. Wright, but whatever.
I'm pretty sure that's the nicest way of him saying, let's add this guy's nonsense to the court record.
Well, remember, it's Herschel we're talking about here. But, again, Professor, remember, we're partners in this one. Come on.
I'm
Are
telling
you
you,
serious?
I heard someone call me name, and I was looking around trying to find them.
Half the time it feels like I'm just doing Phoenix's job for him, which is good
Not
because
really.
I'm better at it anyway. But still,
Hey, now, Professor, let's
It's
actually...
still labeled as some guy.
But hey, at least his name is Emeer in the description.
In case you're wondering, yes, even in Japanese, his name is actually Emil.
Cute. Excuse me, Emeer. Ah, don't sweat it, Bluey. Mister, hey you, it's all the same to me.
Well, I guess that's one thing he and I have in common.
You
they hate
stated...
you.
No, I don't give a rat's ass about formalities. That's what I mean.
Well, to be fair, I'd say there's a difference between formalities and actually calling someone by their name, but this guy is just so used to being referred to as hey you, or anything but his name. I mean, it just sounded like me name. I wouldn't have remembered it happening if, I hadn't had something, right? Still... Maybe there's a chance I just imagined it, huh? But anyway, I remember it came from somewhere behind me. From somewhere behind you.
Somewhere.
Is something the matter, Mr. Wright?
Everything.
Mr. Emeer's memory isn't the most accurate, but if what he says is true, let's pray, then there's definitely something there.
Sorry, Mr. Wright, the light from your forehead's shining in my eye. Something, you say? What do you mean, a contradiction?
Yes, that's what we call it in the business.
I think that's the first time. Oh, okay, not too careful.
I call it an inconsistency.
Yeah, I think so. Although... I don't know. There's just something strange about his testimony, and I feel like I need a specific way of presenting it. I don't see any decisive evidence in the court record that can help.
I do.
I guess technically it's not in the court record, which is why he says that? Like it's your hint for that?
Do you mean to say you found a contradiction that cannot be supported by the evidence? Yes, I know that's what you just said.
Objection! My lord, this line of interrogation is a complete waste of the court's time.
Crap.
Why?
He's zeroing in on us.
Defender, I must warn you, from here on, any unnecessary questioning will be dealt with accordingly. I will smash your head in with this hammer.
But wouldn't that be
Bottom's
unnecessary?
only saying half the
Gavel
stuff
you
because he's
straight to the
losing
gavel.
anyway.
If I don't answer correctly here, it's curtains for the trial and for Espella.
I'll smash your head flatter than the shape of the earth.
Oh, right, this
Your
is back
intent
when
on
they
finding
thought
a
the
fault
roof
in
was
this
flat.
witness's testimony. Also, yeah, 4 Kids One Piece lines. They were something. You will need to present decisive evidence to back up your claims.
4 Kids
It's
One
curtains
Piece.
for you, Mugs.
Honestly, 4 Kids One Piece could have been great, if it weren't for just where they went too damn far.
Everywhere.
It's curtains for you, Mugsy. Curtains.
There's not a single piece of decisive evidence in the court record. What do I do now?
I'm not bailing you out this time.
Even though I'm about to.
Right.
Mr. Layton!
Stop shining that light in my eyes.
Again, where did Luke and Layton and Maya go?
I have an idea. Luke and Maya are gone to pacify the judge while I tell you my idea.
We
Yeah.
went to try to find some boogers.
I believe there is a weapon of sorts with which you may be able to expose this contradiction without the need of evidence.
Basically, it's the game's way of.
Yeah,
It's-
we'll shoot Barnum.
It's the game's way of telling you that you can also use the Grand Grimoire as a possible thing to present at any point in time.
Now,
It's
Defender.
weird. I remember we did do it in one of the previous testimonies.
Yeah, that's the thing. We did do it in a previous part. If I recall correctly, this is actually something different. The defense finds the witness's testimony...
Contains no problems at all.
Your Honor, the defense
Rests.
believes there is a huge contradiction in the witness's testimony.
Objection!
Objection! What is this? You must be an even bigger fool than I thought, Sir Blue Knight.
You know, if he bangs, I swear it takes him longer and longer for him to hit that desk. If he hits it any harder, it's going to break.
You really do not possess even as liberal common sense, do you?
You haven't heard my answer yet.
You haven't gotten...
Oh, this
Objection! If I may interrupt for just a moment, Inquisitor Barnum. Well, first of
No,
all,
you may not.
Well, first of all, you didn't even let Mr. Wright say anything. And secondly, allow me to ask you this. What need is there for common sense in the world that forgoes using it?
Ooh, burn.
Accordingly, I must humbly ask that you discard such a manner of thinking.
Yeah, if I can use common sense, you can too. You can't either, sorry.
True.
Whatever do you mean?
You're an asshole, that's what I mean.
Sword top hat.
You have my utmost thanks for placing your trust in me, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, I noticed that Layton jumps between posts all over the place.
It's like, why do you keep dancing between my left and right?
Discuss the one remaining weapon in the cross-examination.
Don't you see?
My awesome ballet agility skills.
It's like I said, Theo, it's a tag team match. They clap their hands and then they switch places every time.
I do like the idea of Layton literally ballet dancing from position to position behind the
Yeah,
desk.
why do you
This is a
become so
bit
fast at
cramped.
it? This trial has taught us a valuable new technique to be used in the courtroom, has it not?
He's like the shoulder devils.
You mean questioning, right, Professor?
No, I mean shooting the witness. Of course I mean questioning.
We didn't bring our guns anyway.
We have guns?
You literally
Indeed it
made
is.
a gun.
Yep.
Yeah, but I got rid of it. Each of the witnesses in this trial is given stuff. And besides, even if I didn't get rid of it, it's still in London, which is ages away in both senses. Therefore, whenever one witness has testified, the other remaining witnesses have listened.
Mhm.
That gives me an idea. I'm gonna punch that bastard in the face. In addition to catching a witness off guard and questioning them about another's testimony, there is one more thing.
He's lying, actually. There's at least 2 more game mechanics after this one.
Bribery.
There's something
Well, yeah,
else
like-
we can get from a 5-person cross-examination?
Yeah, we can ask the audience.
That's right, of course.
Oh, wait, no, those don't exist. Shit. Needless to write. Contradictions. Should one witness's testimony differ from another's testimony, then... I suppose that considered the contradiction, can it not?
Indeed.
This is something that we'll also see its proper conclusion brought to in the Greatest Eternity duology, especially given how you even get little mini court battles with each of the witnesses themselves, too.
Yes.
Enough! Sir Blue Knight, are you prepared to present to this court the evidence proving the contradiction within this witness testimony?
The witness's testimony does not contradict any evidence. It contradicts a testimony.
What if they contradict your mom or something?
Yeah, look at it. Oh, sorry.
My mom is
What
dead,
are you
right?
talking about?
Look at it this way. Herschel is a professor, so if anything, it makes sense that he would be the tutorial character.
It is time, Mr. Wright. Have a look at the touchscreen. Luca and Meyer even ducked underneath the desk so I can show you this. There you will see the testimony of the witness in question, as well as those of other witnesses.
I'll admit, this game is kind of unique in the sense that we technically kind of get 2 tutorial cases when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eyes peeled and identify the contradicting testimony.
Well, it's not like we could have had this tutorial in the first case, because that was before we came to Labyrinth. So.
Whoa.
Hi, Maya.
Alright, let's give this another shot, Nick.
Don't push me, please.
And make sure you don't forget to take a look at the court record, too.
All of my cohorts are pushing themselves
push
over to
whoever
be
I
next
want.
to me.
Phoenix, you're literally surrounded by literal sycophants.
I was here first.
One thing I'd like to mention, by the way, about Layton's earlier talk, basically, okay, again, like I said, like plenty of fans over the years have asked him in cons to say objection. And yeah, like Layton's objections, holdits, and whatever, like Christopher Miller is once again absolutely pitch perfect, as he always is.
Objection!
The person contradicting this man's testimony
Is the lamb.
Is none other than you, Miss Kira.
Dun dun dun.
Are you both pointing at me?
It's
Yes.
double the rudeness.
Yes. Double objection on
Not
you.
as rude as murder.
at the time of the incident. That man heard someone's voice call his name.
That voice belonged to you, Miss Kira. It could not have been anyone else. Can I stop pointing, please? My arm's hurting.
Also, I did not notice
Yes.
that literally shorter than Phoenix.
Yes, he is. And yet, in your testimony, you stated that you were in such shock during tonight's event that you couldn't even speak.
Oof. This is a clear contradiction.
Objection! What? What is the meaning of his defender?
What is your objection exactly?
That was
That's it. New
questionable.
rule. No bakers allowed in the courtroom.
Can you really claim to trust this sham of witness and this sham of a testimony?
Objection! That man's character is beside the point. His testimony is anything but a sham.
So judgmental.
They're judgmental when it's convenient for them. As he watched the flames erupt, his attention was drawn to a voice behind him, in which turn made him fall over.
He heard a woman's voice calling his name. A very concrete reason. A reason enough to believe his testimony.
See, now moments like these, I do love when they are in sync.
Objection!
Yeah. Can I
If
just
it is
mention?
as you say, then explain why you feel this witness is somehow responsible. Sorry, go on, Pedro.
Is it Jovah? When I played this day one, and you know I was already a big fan of the two friends, so I was geeking out so hard during this.
That's right. Why me? People barely hear me when I'm out selling my flowers. That's how soft my voice is.
And yet, somehow you sell them still.
And besides, there was another woman at the scene, wasn't there?
That's it. That's not.
That is true. Yes.
Me? What are you getting at, young lady? Do you honestly think a woman my age will be out late at night in the forest, flirting with questionable men?
The show Cougar Town suggested
For the
such.
record, Mary, you put that scenario up, not us.
Besides, I didn't even know this pathetic man's name. How could I have called out to him?
Neither did I. And even if I did know his name, do you really think he's the kind of guy any self-respecting girl would want?
Come on, ladies. I'm standing right here, you know.
You
Shut
wanted
up.
your bike, now start pedaling.
Might as well give this guy a break. As I was saying, the only person that guy could have heard from behind him was you, Miss Kira.
This is why this man drinks.
Pretty
The
much.
defense wishes to present evidence to prove this claim.
Well, sure. How else is he supposed to go with the fact that nobody likes him?
Damn.
It's ironic because the game kind of ships him with Mary later on.
To accuse a witness like this young lady here. Why, this is simply unheard of.
As opposed to the other young
I
lady.
must warn you, defender. If you
Just
cannot
says-
prove your accusation to this court, you will see the underside of my gavel.
On your chin.
No, on the top of your head.
Better than
Show
the
us the
face.
evidence proving this young lady was the one who called out to this man at the time of the crime.
Before this flower dies.
Damn.
Yeah, there you go. She was standing right next to him. But,
Yeah.
Take that! Take a look at this, and you'll have your answer.
This is the crime scene sketch.
You can see the position of each witness during the crime. The only person he could have possibly have heard from behind him was none other than Miss Kira.
Objection!
Objection! Listen here, Sir Blue Knight. I will only tell you this one more time.
What are these desks made of?
A sham of a witness yields only a sham of a testimony. That is all there is to it.
Shirley and Wibbs, you can look forward to Grey's Attorney, where one of them finally caves in.
Oh.
Did you, in fact, see this flower girl's face?
You know, now that you mention it, seeing as I'd fallen down and all, I don't think I saw her face. Okay, but you heard her voice, right? Right? Let me think. The voice came out of nowhere. It was kinda high-pitched.
Hey.
And I guess it kinda sounded like her, but I can't say whether or not it was this girl's voice. Also, you were just roasting me. I owned this.
And there you have it, Sir Blue Knight. Such a pity.
Finger doesn't help.
Huh?
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Milord, it is clear that the defense's claim is nothing but a pointless waste of the court's time.
Well,
I recommend you deliver unto them a penalty befitting such behavior.
Indeed, Inquisitor.
Now,
I will penalize him with the loss of his pointing finger.
Now hang on just a moment.
Ready yourself, defender.
Everyone's gonna beat Phoenix up out back.
Who's this?
That's you, Shiroi.
Oh.
What is that laughter? I love how it tricks you to think you got it wrong.
The wrong one, yeah.
Pardon me, my lord. It looks like you finally arrived at a decision. That means this has nothing to do with me.
I decided to point this out, making myself look more suspicious.
I was gonna say, that's not suspicious at all.
Yeah.
You're destroying your own merchandise, you know that?
She's nervous that way.
You're a shitty businesswoman.
Isn't that right, Inquisitor Bana?
What are you saying?
I don't even know, Barnum. I think she's nuts.
I'm saying that it's time for me to stop peddling testimony and get back to peddling flowers.
Got the quota and all that.
You know what? Maybe we should actually hold hostage the bucket of flowers. Maybe she will be more cooperative that way.
Oh god, she'll probably go into a shock over the
mean-
loss of her flowers.
Look at all these flowers left over. It's gonna take until sunrise to sell them. Oh, sell them all if I stay here any longer. I have to go to the bathroom. Or maybe, my lord, you and the rest of the court would be interested in buying my entire stock to help the girl out.
Hashtag shameless plug.
There will be no advertising in my courtroom.
Buy my flowers.
No, I don't think. I mean,
Don't have the money to spare, Your Honor.
just because I'm a judge doesn't mean I'm rich.
Then it's settled. Now, if you'll excuse me, my apologies for the interruption.
Understood. This court will dismiss the witness.
Sweet, bye.
Well, Miss Kira, it would seem you are beginning to show the court your true colors.
Aha! Captain Obvious to the rescue.
Colors shining.
Oh, whatever do you mean?
I see your true colors.
Who's singing?
And that's why I killed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I killed you.
What?
Okay then, everyone. It looks like that's that.
That's all, folks.
Burn the bitch, I mean witch.
Hold it! Wait! You can't leave yet! This cross-examination isn't over!
I said you could leave.
Now that's funny. You say it isn't over, and yet the rest of the court seems to think otherwise.
Well, the rest of the court are idiots.
You mean we could have all left this whole time? Isn't that right, Inquisitor Barnum?
Come on, Barnum. For my sake, don't be a simp.
The Inquisition maintains that the real witch is the accused, Espella Cantabella.
Damn it! Just one time, Barnum.
Very pragmatic. This girl is nothing more than a witness. As such, the court cannot force her to stay against her will.
Well, they can because she's a witness.
You're right. Being a witness here is more like a glorified volunteer job.
Mm-hmm.
This is bad. If they let her walk out now...
Nick, do you think she could be...
The real witch?
You really like throwing around accusations, don't you, Sir Defender?
What's that supposed to mean?
But even the witnesses can read your mind, Phoenix.
Me doing that doesn't make me a witch, by the way.
Yeah.
Sure, we need to see you throw some
Like
actual
I said,
fire.
there's no filter, it just drops onto the real plane.
Let me spell it out for you one last time, so even you can understand.
Fuck you. Goodbye.
I'd as well be saying that.
I didn't know this man's name at all before today. I still don't remember it.
Okay, now that's just being a douche.
No wonder no one buys you flowers.
So, how could I have called out to him? Do you get it now?
There's a way. Don't worry, guys. I know a way to fool her.
Normally you would.
If you know his name, say what? What? Got it.
I was gonna say, which says what?
Yeah. Which says what?
Now then, until we meet again, don't forget to buy some flowers on your way home, everyone.
That's another plug.
How can we?
He also sells subscriptions to NordVPN. I don't know.
Hold it.
Hold it. One moment, please, Miss Kira.
Whoop.
Oh my God,
Me teleporting also doesn't make me a witch, by the way. Is there something else you wanted? Like a flower? Please?
Your head on a pike.
Your head. You don't seem to realize what you just let slip.
Figuratively, Mr. Layton. We're not murderers, after all.
What are you talking about?
This man testified that he heard his name called at the crime scene. However, you had no knowledge of his name at the time. Is that correct?
That's right. This weirdo is just imagining things.
My music tells you otherwise.
Also, I like how everybody likes to interrupt Phoenix, but no one interrupts Layton.
Yes, because I'm a gentleman. No one interrupts the great Herschel Layton.
Like I said, I've already forgotten his name, even though he told it to me. He told it to us earlier.
Well, if you've forgotten your name... Wait, if you didn't know his name in the first place, how could you have forgotten it?
It was that
There is no
unmemorable.
problem, Miss Kira. Namely, what the voice he heard tonight was actually saying.
Huh?
Also, Shiro, remember, in this world, Phoenix is a baker, so he gets no respect anyway.
What do you mean? That's obvious. It was a name, wasn't it? Now, what was that name again?
Damn. Also,
What's in the name?
yeah, that's true,
Oh,
but Phoenix...
Still here, you know.
I know, everybody's rude to this poor dude.
You're saying that what this man heard tonight wasn't a name, but rather something else entirely?
Oh.
Well, yeah. Indeed, I am Inquisitor Barnum.
Like, nobody knows Phoenix's profession, so for all they know, he's jobless. And
Something else.
What?
Ha! There's
Oh.
only one other thing. It could
Phoenix,
be.
when did you grow horns?
what happened to the flames?
It's a stretch, but the possibility is there. It's deep thinking mode time.
Yeah, that's actually one thing that I was. Okay, actually, well, I'll just say later.
That's right, Mr. Wright.
Ah.
That single possibility is the key to solving this mystery. Is the defense ready to present its evidence to the court?
Your Honor, the defense was born ready.
We're not at that game yet, Phoenix. Hold on.
This is ridiculous. I demand you let me go this instant. I could just walk out.
Hold on.
What you mean? Oh, well.
Witness, what you being accused of is not to be taken lightly.
Oh, sorry.
But I didn't do it though.
You will
Jovah.
not leave this courtroom so long as any reasonable doubt remains.
Jovah, I think you mean hang on.
Barnum is sick of everyone's shit at this point.
Yeah.
It sure is taking him for a ride.
Defender, you may present your evidence. Show the court what the voice this man heard tonight was really saying. Area map. What?
Take that! Huh. Excuse me, mister.
Emeer map.
I'm sorry, what's your name again? You've, got a name that no one seems to be able to remember for some reason. I have to say,
I feel like the storyteller's behind this, and like somebody needs to have a word.
probably.
It reminds me.
Remember, Sherry, the storyteller technically controls everything in this world, so yeah.
Yeah.
No matter the number of times you say it, you do not look like an Emeer.
Yeah.
What do I look
See,
like?
sure, the storyteller was writing this, was going, wouldn't be funny if I make it so that nobody remembers this guy's name. That would be really funny.
Wow, what an ass.
Again, I only remember my most loyal customers' names. And he doesn't look like he could afford
Even a
Yeah,
daisy.
flowers.
Come on, guys! Stop kicking a guy when he's down!
He can afford all this booze, that's not cheap.
Yeah.
Mr. Emeer, what you heard tonight at the crime scene was not your name. Your name just so happens to sound exactly like a certain other name.
Another name?
Ahem. The answer is right here in this tome. I'm talking about Emeer.
Mia?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
Yeah, despite-
indeed.
Okay, no, because it's the opposite of the Emeer. Yeah, it's,
Yes.
What he actually heard at the time wasn't his own name. It was the name of a magical incantation!
What the?
Oh yeah. I'm on the scent now. Miss Kira, have you forgotten what you said just a few minutes ago? You quite clearly stated that you didn't know this man's name.
Objection! Sir Blue Knight, let me get this straight. You're saying that the Emeer heard by the witness was actually said by this flower girl,
But she didn't say Amina.
and that it was not his name at all, but rather the incantation of a magic spell?
Well, yeah, that's the long and short of it. The defense proposes the following.
Burn the bitch.
The true criminal, this supposed witch, is not the defendant, Miss Espella Cantabella. But instead, the witness, who was heard uttering the magic incantation, Miss Kira! She's our fire witch! You used magic to vanish from the scene and tried to frame Miss Cantabella instead.
Oh boy. Those dots. You know what that means?
Breakdown.
No!
What just happened?
Is that girl... Is Espella really not a witch?
This is unheard of! Unbelievable. I've never even heard anything like this.
Inquisitor Barnum!
Have those two really defeated Inquisitor Barnum?
Barnum?
Objection!
Not so fast, he says.
An impressive display, Sir Blue Knight.
Oh, an actual compliment.
It would seem you have finally managed to hone your blade.
But you still suck.
Yes. However,
See?
I believe that blade's edge is already beginning to dull.
Straight from compliment, back into insult.
It's
What now?
backhanded.
What do you mean?
Fuck you.
I'm referring to a contradiction, naturally.
What?
See,
In
I can-
my
see,
logic? Hey, that's my line!
Boo-hoo-hoo. My lord, the Inquisition would like to set the record straight regarding what transpired this evening, among many other things.
Oh, there was a lot.
Very well, Inquisitor Barnum.
Sir Blue Knight, you claim the following. At the time of the crime, the accused Espella Cantabella was surrounded by the two rooks. Then, in order to frame the accused as a witch, Miss Kira cast the spell Emeer and made herself vanish. She then moved in closer to the victims.
Then burnt them to a crisp.
At which point she cast Ignace. See, they look so happy.
Yay! The most happiest people to be burned alive.
Thus causing the incident seen by our witnesses tonight.
They're laughing to hide the pain.
I burned.
I'm gonna die.
Indeed, that does seem to be the claim.
The problem is what happened next.
Oh?
There is a contradiction in the defense's account of Miss Kira's movements.
I don't like that when it's pointed out in my case. A contradiction in her movements? Uh-oh.
I was gonna say, you're the contradiction.
Impossible, I
Then
couldn't have been
feasible
there.
Contradiction. Allow me to continue.
No, Phoenix, you're a contradiction in life.
Damn.
The witnesses have stated that they each venture out towards the crime scene.
I do imagine somebody literally drew all these different illustrations just for Barnum's explanation.
The pantomime and everything, yeah. Which is when Miss Kira, the quote-unquote witch, made her way to this point while still invisible.
Uh-huh.
When she arrived at said spot, she then cast Emeer and reappeared to join the other witnesses. And there you have it. That is accurate, isn't it, Sir Blue Knight?
Uh-huh. That's correct. Then Mr. Emeer heard her call his name. Quote unquote.
Well then, I have but one question that I would like you to answer. Why would a witch need to do such a thing?
What do you mean?
A motive, I guess?
Yeah, Supposing Miss Kira were a witch, surely she would not have made the conscious decision to reappear when she did.
That's a good point.
One would imagine she would remain hidden and flee the crime scene.
Make a clean getaway and all that.
Yeah, he makes a good point, actually.
Well, we know that there is something that she's not possessing right now.
Quite right. That's what I'd do if I was a witch.
You're here, folks.
You're a witch?
I'm sorry, did you say she was a witch?
No, I said if I
Given
was a
that
witch.
point, there will be no viable reason for her to recite the incantation. In other words,
Objection, Your Honor. Mary is clearly the witch. I've changed my point. It turns out Mary is the witch.
it is inconceivable that this flower seller, Miss Kira, could be a witch.
Say what?
Maybe she's just, well, Barnum, maybe she's just a stupid witch.
What is that?
Yeah, witches can be stupid.
Is Kira really not a witch?
More copy-paste
No, I'm not.
dialogue and just switch the words around.
Just turn his entire trial right around.
Just what
I'd expect from Labyrinthea's Sword of Justice.
It's not as great as the Spear of Justice, but okay.
Oh, no, Barnum.
They both have red hair,
okay.
though. That's
Oh,
the
come
thing.
on, no Barnum chant. Come on.
We'll see if there's a
Lame.
Barnum chat in the next part.
Actually, before we cut off, I actually have two things to say. One, but to address what Taylor was talking about, Phoenix growing horns. Yeah, I appreciate Takumi bringing back the original art style of the original trilogy. That being said, there's a reason why Yamazaki's art director changed Phoenix's hair slightly for the 3DS games. That hair, when you see it from the front, you can tell the original design of Phoenix was made for a 2D look rather than a 3D look.
Honestly,
Looks like Mishima from the front.
Honestly, the original design of Phoenix still does work in 3D, given how they even brought it back in Dual Destinies as well. I think it's just that, weirdly enough, for that one shot, for some reason, the outer spikes are curving inward, which is weird. Like, there's never really been anything to suggest that they do curve like that. That being said, it is still a much better look for Phoenix than what they initially had in mind with Dual Destinies, if anyone has seen what Phoenix originally looked like.
Yeah, and second thing, that I actually remember when I first played this part of the game, and it's yet one of the other things. Again, this is something that's always been a thing with the Ace Attorney series, so it's not a problem exclusive to this game. And I tried presenting the Emeer spell right from the very moment before Layton even pointed out the whole thing with what Kira's letting it slip. But again, it's one of those cases where it's one of those cases where again you have to wait for the game to catch up to what you.
If I may, I honestly feel like it would have been better if they had you present the spell book around the time where they initially introduced that other game mechanic. And I feel like, the dual layered objection between Phoenix and Layton, I feel like that would have better been saved to just have used at the end in regards to that mechanic, as opposed to it kind of being used there, because it does feel like we could have just skipped ahead to the Emeer spell. Mind you, we still got the good dialogue out of the section here, but again, I do agree. I do definitely agree that I do feel like it was at that point where it would have been probably better if Phoenix just fought to use the Emeer spell as opposed to us doing that new mechanic.
For the record, everybody, this is not something that we're holding against this game. This has been a thing that's been a part of this Eternity series since the very beginning. This is just something that's just inherent to the way that. Again, this is a game that's written a specific way because it was written like that. It's not like this is a narrative choice-driven game like Until Dawn or something like that. So of course, there's going to be times where maybe the player can get ahead of the game. And that just becomes unavoidable at some points.
Now, to be fair to Takumi, he was getting better with this as even in the original trilogy, he was getting better with this. And to his credit, I can kind of get why it is like this here and there. And at least for most of those cases, you can at least come up with some reasoning as to why the court would not accept that bout of evidence here and there, to be fair. So yeah, like Pedro said, it's not something exclusive to this game in that regard. And mind you, if I recall correctly, this is kind of one of the only major egregious moments that something like this happens in this game in particular.
Again, this is not... Sorry. again, this is something that us as attorney fans have just gotten used to at this point. So it's just one of those things where you just, at this point, this is just par for the course. Again, the greatest attorney games also have occasions like these. Again, this is something that's still going on to this day. Because, again, it's just one of those things where Takumi meant for Phoenix or to get a realization in this specific moment in the story, and he can't account for when the player figures it out. Because, each player will figure it out at different times, so there's no way to actually account for what the player thinks.
Takumi did later find a workaround for this by actually making it that you could present multiple pieces of evidence on different testimonies here and there, and even when some weren't the right time or place, they wouldn't penalize you as much, or in other cases, you could still present those multiple pieces of evidence, and they would both work, just albeit in different ways and functions. So, again, to give credit to Takumi, he definitely got better at that. Regardless, though, before we end this part, audience, I might as well show you that model I was referring to of what Phoenix looked like in the Dual Destinies prototype. And, it is, well, it's,
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's a good thing they changed it.
He looks like he is in pain in that shot.
Okay. To be fair, I don't have a problem with the design per se. It's more so the model itself that's crap.
It looks like a wax statue.
I was gonna say they encased him in wax.
You can tell they were trying to retain the original design. However, at some point along the line, the art Yamazaki. Okay, remember, Attorney 5 had a different art director than the one Takumi works with.
Okay,
so
I'm gonna be fair. I don't think this has anything to do with the art direction. It just has to do with the fact that it was badly rendered at first. And you know what? I get it. Alpha footage and whatnot. I do feel like once they got a better grasp of what they wanted to do, it came out better. And I would argue that it has definitely been probably the best finalized by Ace Attorney 6 in regards to the 3D models.
To be fair, for all we know, this was just a placeholder. This model was meant to be a placeholder from the very beginning, anyway. So it's not like this was ever meant to be the final model, anyway. So
this has been shown on the official bouts here and there that yes, this was originally what was in the works. Like the dev team have gone on to say that their initial tries in getting Phoenix into 3D were less than favorable. Again, though, thankfully everything did work itself out eventually. But that said, I don't think that has to do with what the original art style was like. I just think it was about a wonky rendering in 3D. Because honestly, Phoenix for the most part looks just fine in this game, the crossover, which is...
Oh, no, it does. It's more so, Jovah, again, take a look at a picture of Phoenix from the original trilogy. Take a look at how that first shot of Phoenix in the FMV opening of Dual Destinies, and you'll notice that the way he's drawn is different. You'll notice that the hair is slightly different because, again, remember, it's not Takumi's art director who did that game. It was Masaki's art director. So you can tell that the design was slightly altered, probably because they thought maybe this would look better in the model in the 3D model. Maybe, again, I'm just spitballing, because I didn't work on the game, so I wouldn't know.
Well, again, in regards to how they changed this model, that was mainly to show that he had aged up, but this is something we can probably discuss more when we actually get to Dual Destinies.
Sure.
Regardless, though, we shall see you in the next part, where the trial heats up even more over this Fire Witch.
See ya.
See ya.